If a large trolley is something that you've always wanted, then this video is definitely for you. All my planning were done in Shaper 3D, and you will be able to get the design file via this link. To learn how to build a trolley like this, you will need to know how to drill accurately first. I made a simple jig that comes with a tape measure that starts at absolute zero. This prototype drilling jig will help me accurately put holes in the exact positions that are required for fastening. This piece will act as the stop block, and it will also hold the workpiece down at the zero mark. Throughout the design, I had to make sure it can cater to multiple purposes, and yet it is simple and reliable to use. And this jig must be able to accept 30 and 20 series aluminum extrusions, because most of my projects are going to be made with these two profiles. These are aluminum end caps that I regularly use to hide the ends of the extrusion. And right now, it became extremely useful for a different type of task. We will need several pieces secured to the bottom to create a base for the jig. And the workpieces will sit on these plates. What you see now is the prototype, and over the past few weeks, I have been performing several tests and revisions to improve this jig. This stop block will be bolted down at two locations for strength. When we need to drill an accurate hole with a fixed distance from the edge of the extrusion, this is the reliable way of doing so. We can now put on the workpiece. To quickly hold it down, all we need are clamps to keep things in place, and we can start drilling. In this video, not all functions of this jig will be demonstrated, because I will be making an entire video on this jig in the near future. Make sure you are subscribed so you won't miss it when it's out. With this jig, 2 holes were drilled quickly, without marking, without measurement. And this is the result of the precision we can get with this jig. We call these blind joints, which requires drilling this way, to use and access a hidden bolt within the extrusion. Blind joints may not be the strongest way to make a corner, but when coupled with other forms of external joinery, the strength can be severely enhanced. And in this project, aesthetics and strength were needed at the same time, therefore the joinery were carefully planned out this way. A very simple method to flush the corner is being shown here. At every corner, a 6 mm thick aluminum end cap will be used to cover up all the ends of the extrusion. Therefore, the drilled holes had 6 mm offsets to take that into consideration. And as of now, the joints are not at their strongest yet. They will be reinforced later. In order to slot in the acrylic panels, these panel slots will be required. This method of acrylic paneling is done the same way as my 3D printer enclosure project, which was really heavy on paneling from all sides. And I also did another video on exhibition display boxes that use this type of paneling method. You can find them all in my channel, and a lot more other interesting videos. These are the dark opaque acrylic panels that were chosen. Every single piece were custom cut to spec, and some of the panels needed a notch to fit into the corners. All these careful planning were done at the design and modeling stage to ensure materials were customized correctly. After this last panel slot is done, the acrylic panel can be closed up on all 4 sides. And to secure this part as accurate as possible, I measured and made a tiny marked line to align the extrusion. Aluminum end caps were practically used in all my projects. For my very next one, I will be showing you how I made an aluminum extrusion bed, where I will also be using several of these end caps to cover the sharp corners. We are reinforcing the joints with an external bracket here. With this, a much stronger joint will be created. These brackets will be strategically placed at various locations on the trolley, that will increase joinery strength, without discounting the aesthetic value too much. To fasten this extrusion accurately, a flush plate is used. And with the help of the previous marked line, this piece will be perfectly aligned with the adjacent extrusion. The rest of the frame and panels will be assembled in the same way, and I shall leave you to it until it's time for the huge casters. After this last piece of extrusion, we shall start to assemble the huge beefy casters. The casters will be locked down with 3 T-bolts. With that, the caster plate now acts as a huge bracket for the frame, holding it tightly together. The bottom wood panel will eventually rest onto these caster plates, and will also be bolted down at the end. This wood panel was custom ordered in the exact dimensions. And I ordered solid wood because I do not think plywood will survive the heavy loads in the trolley. Even with that, I still worry about the wood giving way in the middle, and I also made plans to add a bracing in the middle like this. But after testing a couple of heavily loaded trips, the wood didn't even bow, and it stayed the same after more than 20 trips, leaving me utterly impressed with the quality. I would greatly appreciate if anyone out there can help identify the name of this wood, so that I can continue some research into it. In order to bolt the wood down, the trolley will need to be tilted up. At the bottom, multiple flush plates were already secured in to increase the support from beneath. And for another truly fitting assembly, this panel went in nicely, lining up edge to edge, corner to corner. These countersink bolts will hold down the wood panel, and prevent the board from rattling uncontrollably during movement. And lock nuts will be used to prevent it from coming loose during transit. Off camera, 4 aluminum handles were locked down into the frame, creating additional support between the extrusions. And here you will see how the size is so large that it can barely fit into the lift. The gap on both sides were mere millimeters left to play with. I've used this trolley to move a huge number of boxes and items from A to B, and vice versa. And also used it to bring trash to the recycling area. Because of the size of the trolley, the number of trips that I needed to take were greatly reduced and saved me loads of time. To complete the trolley, slot covers were neatly inserted everywhere to add a sleek aesthetic value. And at the end, I can proudly put on the logo at both the front and the back. And continue the task to bring all our stuffs from location to location. If you have any questions about anything from this video, just drop me a comment and I will do my best to answer. And if there is anything you would like to see me build, let me know too. Otherwise, stay tuned for more builds coming up.